And I wonder if This Is Us and Paradise would share like a universe. What crossover episode would be like a must watch? We miss Randall so much. I mean, what would that be?
So it'll be interesting because I think
what's a role people wouldn't expect that you want, that secretly you would kill for it, apart from the vampire, obviously. Hi, Sterling. It's so good to see you. How are you?
Doing well, Barbie. How about yourself?
I'm doing super good. It's so nice to be talking with you. First of all, congratulations, because you bring magic to every role. And Paradise is basically no exception. So how does it feel to own the screen like that? The way you do it. Because you do it, man, in every role.
Thank you. That is about the sweetest and most kind thing that I've ever heard. I say to God be the glory. Honestly, sometimes there are times in which I finish doing something and I'm not exactly sure what happened. And then I watch it and I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. Like, I'm not mad at it, you know? I think sometimes you try to open yourself up so that spirit can flow through you. And sometimes the best thing that I can do is just not get in the way, right? Just try to allow something to move through.
Next time, if you're like doubting about it, you just text me. You let me know.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
I'm going to give you my feedback right away. Can we talk about this? Because you wrapped Paradise. So be honest. What was like the first thing that you did when you were like officially done with the series? Are we crying? Are we celebrating? Like both? You slept for a week? Bleeding? I don't know. What have you done?
Let's see. So we finished on a Saturday morning, like Friday night, Saturday morning. And it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. It was probably the longest day we'd ever had, but we knew it was our last day of shooting. So we had to finish, right? And I remember Dan was there, and he doesn't come to set all the time, but he wanted to say goodnight to everybody and thank you for everything. And I spoke to everybody and I said, guys, it was a lot of my crew from This Is Us. I said, guys, it's been an honor to be together with you again. I said, if this thing goes the way that I hope, hopefully we get a chance to get the band back together and do it for a couple more seasons. I have a good feeling. And part of that good feeling is the fact that I got a chance to do it with you. So that's the first thing that happened. Then I probably slept very, very hard. And then I probably took my kids to school, or if my wife was nice to me, maybe she took them to school and I picked them up. So,
and actually it happened because it's already confirmed that you're having a second season, right?
That is correct. We are already in pre-production for season 2, and things will kick off at the end of this month, beginning of April.
And Sterling, what is one thing about filming Paradise that was not Paradise at all? Let's go real.
Okay, so the carnival that we had in Paradise, that was a lot of night shoots, right? That was episode 104, Agent Billy Pace. We got the carnival going on. Night shoots can be tough, especially when you're used to being on days and then all of a sudden you switch into nights, what have you. And I know the crew would get a little cranky. The cast was getting a little tired or whatnot. And I remember there was this one night, you could feel like everybody was just a little down. And I turned on my iPhone, which was oddly very loud because things were really, really quiet. And I was playing like Phil Collins, I Can Feel It Coming in the Air in the Night, you know? Because I was just waiting for that drum solo, that boom, boom, boom.
I can feel it coming in the air now.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. And just to get the energy back up again, like it was a good moment. I appreciated that. The idea came to me and people seemed to be re-energized, but those were long days and long nights. That was tough.
If you could like steal one thing from your character's life and bring it into yours, into Sterling's life, what's making the cut?
And this is more for my wife than it is for me, but for me too, because on TV, I've had the privilege of being a girl dad a lot. And in life, I'm a boy dad, and I love my boys. But I think there would be something special about having a little girl. Now, I can't steal the little girl because she belongs to somebody else in real life. But if that blessing had come my way, I think I would welcome it with open arms. I'm not going to have any more kids. I'm too damn old.
You're not old at all.
Demasiado viejos, hermano.
But you closed the fabric already. Yeah.
But I like a little girl. Little girls are beautiful.
When I started off, I just told you your performances hit straight to the heart of the people. Somehow, do you realize you probably like made strangers cry in public as you did with me when I was watching probably, you know, like This Is Us.
Yeah.
I don't know, what was like the funniest fan reaction you've had over these years, and especially with This Is Us, I guess, right?
There's been a lot. And they're always, usually people just want a hug, Barbie. Like they'll see me and they'll get a little misty and they're like, can I have a hug? And I'm like, yeah, man. You get hugs are safer during COVID than handshakes even. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not like touching each other's hands. Like I'll give you a hug in a heartbeat. Those are the kinds of things that warm my heart because you realize the impact that your performance has on people. When you're by yourself and you're doing it with your friends and you're telling the show, you don't necessarily know how it's going to reach people. Then you get a chance to have it reflected back to you with such warmth and kindness. I couldn't pick one. I had one time where a woman had a baby strapped to her chest and she looks at me and she goes, I adopted this baby because of you. And I said, what? And she said, no. And it was a little black baby and she was a white lady.
Did she name it Randall?
I don't know if she did. I'm not sure if she did or not, but she said, I adopted this baby because of you.
That's a huge impact, right?
Yeah, it is.
How crazy is that? Because somehow yesterday in Argentina, it was the Brothers' Day. And I was thinking about it when I was about to talk to you. Like probably in TV series, you were like the best brother ever with that character. You were.
Me and Justin were just on a text thread the other day. I think we were both good brothers to each other and also not good to each other at different times as well. And that's the nature of brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? You go up, you go down, but you always come back together. That's the important.
That's life itself. Yeah. And I wonder if This Is Us and Paradise would share like a universe. What crossover episode would be like a must watch? We miss Randall so much. I mean, what would that be?
So it would be interesting because I think we were trying to set Randall up to become the president in This Is Us. Like at the end of This Is Us, he was on a trajectory to sort of move into politics, into the White House, et cetera. So it would be a weird sort of thing where either he was the president just after Cal Bradford or just before Cal Bradford. And then like Xavier would have just missed his detail. He would have gone with Cal and then Randall would have gone into the White House if the destruction had happened. Yeah.
That's epic. And somehow we all know like actors have these wild audition stories. What would be your best what the fuck moment audition? Do you have any of those?
I have one that comes to mind. And I was telling this to my wife the other day. I auditioned for, it was either the Vampire Diaries or the spinoff of the Vampire Diaries. It was called The Originals. And I went in for this audition. And Barbie, I don't say this often, I killed this audition. Like I killed it. And I was like, okay, can't wait to get this job. It's going to be great. I called my manager later and I was like, did we get the feedback? And they're like, yes, they loved you. They decided to go in a different direction. And I was like, what? Barbie, I drove back to the casting office.
No way.
I said to the casting directors, I was like, are you guys sure you didn't make a mistake? I was so positive that I booked it. I was like, are you sure? My name is Sterling Brown. I think you may have picked the wrong person. And they're like, no, Sterling, you were great.
You were totally convinced that you were going to be on that.
Totally convinced. The role wound up going to a really good friend of mine. And once I heard that, I was like, fair enough. I'm good.
What's a role people wouldn't expect that you want, but secretly you would kill for it, apart from the vampire, obviously?
Bond villain.
Oh.
A Bond villain. Like what Javier Bardem was able to do in Skyfall or something like that. Like a very nuanced, somebody with a very particular point of view. And you want to hate him, but you want to love him, but you have to hate him because he is the bad guy ultimately. Like that.
So a villain.
Yeah.
And in any show that if you could like guess a star, I don't know, The Office, Bridgerton, Succession, Severance, Peaky Blinders, I don't know.
Ooh, you just named some bangers, bro. Severance is a great show. I would love to be a part of that. Succession when it was on. Oh my God. Game of Thrones when it was on. Except for the last season. Like any of the Peaky fucking Blinders, mate. Like absolutely crazy. Any of them. I do it. The Office? Yeah, all of them.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me. We just love you. Randall forever in our hearts, but Paradise, you just kill it. And we're so happy that we're going to have like a second season.
I love you back, Barbie. Thank you so much. Look forward to doing it again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Shirley.